what you're saying is the misconduct that was initiated by the attorneys, and since that period of time, you have made complaints to the disciplinary committee with respect to these attorneys?
Oh, absolutely. And well, it depends on what you're talking about. At the federal patent bar, they're under investigation. In the New York courts, they got letters of recommendation. I don't know if that, explains the difference of what's going on here, but under the same information that was presented to Hiriang Motes, who's the director of the Office of Enrollment and Discipline, which oversights patent bar attorneys, when he looked at the damning information, such as patents in the wrong people's names, and the lawyers handing out intellectual property dockets to Wachovia Bank and hosts of other investors that were patently false and didn't match up with the documents on file at the patent office. In fact, on some patents that they had listed as my patents, I can't even get access to the information right now on those patents because they weren't filed in my name. I'm not the owner, I'm not the inventor, and I'm not the assignee. So Mr. Motes has directed me to take up action with Dianne Feinstein, which I have, and to get those patents released to me so we can change the inventors, but because of privacy laws, I'm blocked right now, so we need an act of Congress to change that, and hopefully you can help me get that. Dianne Feinstein has been working on it and has contacted several of the federal authorities. The FBI, the case investigator appears missing at this time with my files, according to the FBI. I'm only allowed to talk to the OPR of the FBI. Glenn Fine has referred me. Are you familiar with Mr. Fine, the Inspector General of the Department of Justice? And so other agencies are, other than he's missing, which seems a little hokey to me. I don't think he actually was missing with car bombing files, etc. And it was my understanding that he was going to Washington to work with Mr. Motes, who confirmed that the FBI was joining him on an investigation of lawyers who are committing fraud upon the United States Patent Office. It's a heavy crime. It's not just fraud against Eliot Bernstein and his family and shareholders. It's a crime against the United States by these lawyers. And penetrating the Patent Office is the end of free commerce in America if they're successful at it. In fact, the attorney that we were talking about from Proskauer, Kenneth Rubenstein, has created a patent pool, an anti-competitive, monopolistic patent pool, which has stolen my technologies, commonly referred to as MPEG. Mr. Rubenstein, while acting as my counsel, first he was misrepresented. Let me get back to my statement because it'll help right here. It turns out that Kenneth Rubenstein is an attorney admitted and regulated by the New York First Department. He was simultaneously involved with MPEG's patent pool that he was acting as in-house counsel for and was one of the founders of, while advising Iviewit companies on their intellectual properties as retained patent counsel, which posed a competitive threat to his pools, my technologies. In fact, it might have extincted the MPEG LA technologies. And so Rubenstein, Proskauer, and Meltzer failed to put up any China wall to protect me, and instead did the exact opposite and allowed MPEG to use my IP for their benefit while using anti-competitive monopolistic practices to eliminate the inventors, like myself. No wonder the Justice Department has historically broken up patent pooling schemes using antitrust regulations, as this form of pooling works to deny ma and pa inventors of their rights. And in the past, there have even been allegations of pooling schemes actually in the business of murdering inventors to steal their inventions or other such heinous crimes. Rubenstein, though, was initially misrepresented as a Proskauer partner. Once we discovered through investors, I believe from Goldman Sachs, that he was with Meltzer instead, Proskauer quickly purchased or acquired Rubenstein and the entire Meltzer department except Ray Joa, the guy who put the 90 patents in his name. And when they acquired Rubenstein, they acquired control of the MPEG patent pool. So now my lawyers are controlling a patent pool that's stealing my technology, and they're profiting from it.
So, I mean, just to wrap it up, no, Mr. Bernstein.
This year?
Huh?
This year?
No, right now. You're in pending litigation. You have made complaints. Rest assured, you don't think the complaints have been thoroughly followed through.
No, I think Christine Anderson's right. They threw them in the garbage, shredded them, and then they beat her up to shut up about it.
Okay.
That's what I really think. But if you want to get into how this relates to the Bernard Madoff scandal, the Mark Dreyer scandal, and all of these massive financial scandals, you should let me continue, because it also, what these guys at the First Department are doing by, I'm now suing the First Department, 4,700 lawyers, a few judges, a few Supreme Courts, a whole lot of people involved in it. But what these clowns back here are doing to you is they're putting this state at $1 trillion plus liability. And I don't think any of them are properly reporting the liabilities to state auditors and regulators. And you're going to have a Madoff times 10,000 occur as liability to the state of New York. All because these guys are failing their duties. I mean, they're not but really, the bar should be a drinking establishment. Okay? That's my... You wanted a suggestion? I'm going to make the suggestion. I don't know what in God's name these lawyers, and you're a lawyer, so I think you'll understand what I'm about to say. Blow up the Bar Association in the literal sense. Destroy it, and then make every single violation of an attorney ethic or judicial canon, whatever you want to call these things, violations of law. And then send in some hard pipe hitting investigator who hates lawyers to investigate the lawyers and then prosecute them to the fullest extent of the law, because I don't know who these people think they are, but I pay their salaries, and in situations like this, I would fire them. They all should be fired and imprisoned for the nonsense they've been pulling. I'd like to go. I'll submit the rest.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Bernstein.
Thank all of you.
All right, we don't need any...
I'll be talking.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's have some sense of decorum in here. Please. The last person, Susan McCormick, Ms. McCormick, you're the last person for the day. Thank you very much. Squeezed you in. You have 5 minutes. Thank you very much, Ms. McCormick.
Thank you very much.